This guy right here. Yeah, we got 2 of them now. Okay, it is Banlist season. We got 2 titles now instead of 1, so I gotta show you guys exactly what this is going to be all about. So there isn't a whole lot of stuff you can do with titles specifically that's like new and unique, but when you combine them with cards such as Nimble Angler and Water Enchantress, you can do some pretty cool things. So yeah, this entire video is just going to be a really cool showcasing of my new favorite water deck until the new Morel support comes out, so that's going to be really exciting. And what's really cool about this combo is you only really need 3 specific cards, that being Water Enchantress, Tidal, and then just like a random discard. Swap Frog also works here, but to be honest, you can also just play like Foolish Burial because honestly it does the same thing as Tidal. Tidal is just another copy of Foolish. So how this works is essentially you're going to be using Tidal as a means of activating all of your water trigger monsters, using all of their effects to go into a lot of powerful plays that 1, play around Nibiru, 2, also play around Nibiru, and 3, you try not to level lock yourself while also ending on like 3 interruptions. And by the way, it's pretty resilient to hand traps because when you open cards like Swap Frog or even opening cards like Sprite Blue, all of a sudden you've got an entire hand of cards that can just play through boards and around hand traps. So the focus of today's video is just going to be on this Tidal combo. Now this works with Water Enchantress or Nimble Angler. What this does is you'd use Tidal's effect here, discarding the Water Enchantress, to go ahead and send a copy of Nimble Angler from your deck to the graveyard. Now if you happen to open Tidal plus Nimble Angler, you just send Water Enchantress. It's kind of really cool how you can like, change these around. And if you open Water Enchantress Nimble Angler without the Tidal, it's still full combo. From here, you use the Nimble Angler's effect to go ahead and summon out 2 beavers from your deck to the field in defense position. I'm not using a playmat today just because next from here, you can use Water Enchantress's effect, banishing herself, to go ahead and search for a copy of Rite of Armistice. And then you can go ahead and use this card right here and you can just kind of like turbo through the combo right here just to kind of speed things up a little bit. We're going to put Faithful Adventure in our zone right here. Next, you can use this guy's effect to go ahead and search for the Wandering Griffin Rider and then discard whatever card in your hand. Use his effect to special summon himself out because you control an adventurer token, to then go ahead and add a Draco back and attach it directly from your deck to the token. Let's go ahead and put this right over here. I think that makes a little bit more sense. Next, you can overlay both of the beavers into your extra monster zone right there and Exceed Summon into a copy of Gigantic Sprite. And then from here, you can either go full Sprite combo by detaching a material and summoning out a Sprite Blue from your deck, and then use this to go through your Sprite Melfi combos, or if you really wanted to, you can go for a Swap Frog, use Swap Frog's effect to send this really cool Ice Barrier card, which when sent to the graveyard can add back a Monster Reborn for the Ice Barrier, to then go ahead and Exceed Summon into a copy of Totally Awesome, thus ending your combo with 2 Omni Negates and then whatever else is on the field. Now, if you happen to open like any other copies of like, I don't know, any single Sprite card or Swap Frog in your opening hand, then what you would do is you'd end on a full Sprite combo with Toad with a Griffin Rider, all from just 3 different cards. Oop. So let's say you did open with that copy of Sprite Blue. Instead, what you would do is link summon using both of your beavers to go into a copy of Sprite Sprint to this zone. Use his effect to send a copy of Angler to summon out your last copy of Beaver. Next, you can use the Sprite Blue from your hand to special summon himself. Use his effect to go ahead and add a Jet from your deck to your hand. Next, you can overlay the blue with the Sprint to go into a Gigantic Sprite. Use the Jet's effect, special summoning himself, to then use his effect to add a Double Cross from your deck to your hand. Next from here, you can use the Gigantic Sprite to go ahead and detach, let's say, that Sprite Blue, to go ahead and summon out a Toad from your deck to your last empty zone. Use his effect to send the Ice Barrier card, to go ahead and add an Ice Barrier card right there. So next, what you're going to want to do is use that Jet plus that Beaver and overlay for a Melfi of the Forest. Use Melfi of the Forest's effect to go ahead and add a Melfi Caddy from your deck to your hand, and then link summon using the Melfi of the Forest plus the Gigantic Sprite for a copy of IP Masquerena, a very gorgeous card, to then use the Freezing Chain to the Ice Barrier to go ahead and revive that copy of the Ice Barrier monster, to then overlay both of those water cards into a copy of Totally Awesome. And then you're going to go ahead and set that trap card that you searched, and this is what your field's going to look like. You can also open up that zone to keep the zone freeze for the double cross if you won, but then during your end phase, you can go ahead and use Caddy's effect to special summon himself. During your opponent's turn, they're going to do whatever they're going to do, And at any point during their turn, you can use Caddy's effect to return this to your hand. To add a copy of Penny, use Penny to special summon itself, to then synchro summon using the Caddy plus the Penny into a copy of Herald of the Arc Light, giving you 3 Omni Negates and an IP Masquerena to kind of do whatever. You also have a zone option with Totally Awesome to summon like a Swap Frog out, so you have more options to link summon with the IP Masquerena, and I just think that's really cool. So anyways, this is just a really cool water combo. If you guys like this, please consider subscribing. Thank you.